Hi, my name is Marius. I am here in Dubai right now, where I'm sitting next to a 10-year-old girl who is very mature for her age. I've even been so lucky to visit your school, and you have shown me around in Dubai, so thank you very much. But we're going to talk a little bit about why you're here. So if you can tell to the people out there why you happen to be in Dubai now, because you were born in Norway, right?
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about why you're here.
I'm here because in Norway, the Barnevernet there want to take me away from my family. Even though there's nothing wrong here, it's a very great family and I'm so proud to be in it. But I'm here because we don't have any freedom in Norway. So we had to come to Dubai so we can stay as a family and they won't tear us apart.
But you are afraid of Barnevernet, right?
Yeah.
And did Barnevernet take you from your family?
Yes, they took me away for a month.
Can you tell how this happened?
I was just in school and then suddenly they just came and said I have to come with them. And then they said that I have to come with them to a foster family.
Okay.
And I was just so sad.
So they just came to your school and said that?
They just came to school and took me.
Okay, and what did you say?
I was just crying.
Mm-hmm. So they took you straight from school to a foreign family you've never seen before, huh? Were you allowed to talk to your parents about this?
Nothing had been discussed or anything. They suddenly just one day surprisingly just came.
They just came to your school. And how did you find to be in like a completely strange family? How was it? I mean, it must have been a shock for you.
Yeah, it was very surprising. I didn't even know where they were taking me,
Mm-hmm.
or anything. And even that family, they're saying it's supposed to be perfect, but actually it wasn't, because for example, the lady, she got to shower every day, and she said I have to shower every 4 days.
Every 4 days.
And also, I never got my hair brushed, sometimes not teeth brushed. It wasn't really a perfect family at all.
Oh, and you miss your family,
Yeah, a lot.
Did you try to? Did you continue to go to school at the same school that you were going to?
No,
or?
I didn't go to any school.
You didn't go to any school, so they interrupted your school as well. Not only your family, but your school, huh?
Yeah.
So what did you do? You were there for as far as I remember, 1 month.
Yeah.
So what did you? And you didn't go to school. So what did you do throughout the days when you were there?
Basically, wake up, watch some TV, walk the dog a lot, and then eat and go to sleep.
Were you able to contact your family? Did they allow you to?
No, they didn't allow any contact.
Any contact at all? Did you try to get contact with your family on your own?
I would have, but they didn't let me, and I didn't have anything to do it with or anything.
But then after a month, as far as I read in the papers, you were allowed to be reunited with your family, to go back to your family.
Yeah.
Well, can you tell us a little bit about that? Because that was just before Christmas in 2016, wasn't it?
Well, they said suddenly that they decided that I could go back, and I was so happy I couldn't stop smiling. So that was exactly the day before Christmas Eve.
Mm-hmm.
So I came, and then my mom and my grandma was there.
Okay.
And we were just so happy to see each other.
Oh, that's fantastic. And your grandmother is from Sweden, is she?
No, Finland.
From Finland, yeah, because you had grandparents both from Sweden and from Finland. That's right. But what did this experience do to you? I mean, you must have been like, after you got back to your family, you must have been really like How was the feeling about Barnevernet then? Were you like constantly afraid that they would come and get you again, or?
Yeah, I was very afraid, like,
Yeah.
what was gonna happen next.
Yeah. What about your classmates? Did they obviously missed you, I guess, since you were a very outgoing girl and you make easily friends. So you were probably a center of attention in your class, I would presume. So, did you talk with your co-students about this in school? Or what happened when you returned? Did you met with your old friends and?
Yeah, I met with them and just started again suddenly, and
Yeah.
many people asked where I was and stuff. So, I told my friends a bit about the problem because they're friends, but it was very hard for me to suddenly just start like that again, like when I was taken away with no school.
But then you have to tell us a little bit about going to Dubai, because you didn't go here voluntarily. Can you tell us a little bit how the trip was for you to come here? Because as far as I know, you came here in the beginning of 2017. So how was it for you to go from Norway, to leave your friends and to go to a country on the other side of the world?
I was pretty scared, and I just wanted to go back to Norway when I was on the plane, but I knew that I had to go to Dubai because otherwise I won't be able to be with my family. So I still was okay on the flight, but another thing that I was worried about on the flight, if I would ever see my mom again, because she wasn't coming the same day.
Well, she wasn't coming the same day. But, so she came after you arrived in Dubai then. Okay. But when you got to Dubai and you met with your mother and you settled here, did you start school here right away, or how was your first weeks here in Dubai?
I was homeschooled.
Homeschooled.
But then now previously I've been going to school for some months.
And I've been so lucky to visit your school, and it looked to me like it was an excellent school. Can you tell me a little bit about the school here compared to, for instance, in Norway?
For example, in Norway, some teachers were like on Barnevernet's side.
Okay.
And like trying to get me there, and also here they're very kind, and they also have a very good way of teaching.
Okay. So, and you have made a lot of friends here too, I presume.
Yeah,
huh?
a lot.
So it's, after all, you're happy that you're here with your family, and it seems to me like you live a very good life here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but do you miss your friends back in Norway sometimes?
Yeah, I do, but they visit and they have friends here, so it's okay.
But you have grandparents and relatives in Finland and Sweden as well, and it's harder for them to, it's a longer distance to see them as well. Do you get to maintain like normal contact with your other relatives?
Yeah, I have a lot of contact with them.
Okay, that's perfect.
And sometimes they could visit too.
So if you want to say some words to the Norwegian government about, because the Norwegian government claims that they're trying to protect you in the best interest of the child, what do you have to say to the one who are ruling over your future in Norway? Have they done that to you? Have they treated you in a respectful way, you think?
You mean Barnevernet?
Yeah, Barnevernet and the Norwegian officials, yeah.
No, they have not, because they can't just come up and do like this to any family at all. Just come up and do like this only because of one person.
Exactly.
You need more proof.
Yeah.
It's not freedom.
Well, personally, I'm very grateful that you're making this statement. You are a very brave girl that is actually challenging the Norwegian system right now, because you're telling it like very many children are feeling the same way as you are. But you have a voice, also an international voice, because your English is obviously perfect. How did you manage to learn English so good? I mean, your English is absolutely perfect.
It was my first language.
It was your first language. But you know a little bit Norwegian too, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Finnish and Swedish as well, or?
Swedish I understand, but Finnish.
Okay. So you were like multi-language all. That's great. Anyhow, I would like to thank you for talking to me. We certainly have a way to do back home to fight what we consider to be severe human rights violations against children. Before we conclude this interview, I would like to ask you one more question about the court proceedings in Norway.
Okay.
Did you feel that you were being taken seriously when you stated, because you obviously stated that you wanted to be with your family? That is stated in the court. But did you feel that the judges and the Barnevernet and all the people who are deciding upon this, that they took you seriously, that they listened to you in a way?
They have never listened to me.
No.
I tell them so many times, do you hear me now? I even said once, but they still haven't listened to this day.
That's horrible. Because children have the right to be heard, you know that. And they have the right to be party to their cases, but they don't do that in Norway. They ignore the children's right to be heard. And they ignore the children's right to be party to their own case. And there are many, many children in Norway who are suffering, and they are separated from their parents. And most of the times, it's the children that are paying the price. But now, since you have an international voice, would you like to tell the children who are suffering in Norway something that can encourage them? Like, what should they do?
They should speak up and stay brave, because maybe they can help their family be put together again.
That's wonderful. Well, thank you very much for talking to me.
It was very nice talking to you.
It was super, and we will fight together. Is that a deal? Super. Okay. Wonderful. Kjempebra.